I do have to give a shout out to the podcast, the Couch GM Pod.
Welcome back to the Cougs on the Couch podcast, brought to you by CougFan.com. Today is a Senior Day special. We have on two seniors from Washington State University's team. We have redshirt senior Matthew Durrance, who is a safety. We also have on senior Colby Humphrey, who is a cornerback. Dylan, what was your biggest takeaway?
Honestly, just listening to both separate senior classes and their ability to gel, the 15 or 16 SDSU players, and then the guys like Brock Doe, Christian Hilborn, Josh Meredith, Zevi Eckhouse that stayed. It was interesting kind of hearing, what Colby and Matthew had to say. And it's just, from what we saw, this team is pretty interconnected.
And this is a Thanksgiving special. Thank you to the players for jumping on, and it's going to be an exciting weekend. We got Oregon State coming up. If they can scratch out this win, then we have a bowl game coming up. But if you haven't yet joined the Cougar Collective, make sure to scan this QR code, enter referred by Cougs on the Couch, join the 1890 Club, do your part to keep these players on the Palouse moving forward and give Jimmy and his staff as much firepower as we can have moving into next year. Also, make sure to check out CougFan.com, subscribe to their premium membership for all things WSU athletics. If you're thinking of buying, selling, or refinancing on the West Coast, make sure to reach out to myself, Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho, or Arizona. You can visit lender Connor Webb to reach out and connect. And Dylan?
Yeah, once you finish buying or financing from Connor or MK, lock in that energy rate with me, 20 to 25 years. Let's lock that thing in, because I'll tell you what, the power company, they're going up an average of 8 to 10% per year, and that is out of your control.
And with that, make sure to like and subscribe to the Couch GM for more content like this. And let's get into our interview with Matthew Durrance. All right, here with Matthew Durrance, senior safety for Washington State University, heading into senior weekend this weekend. Last home game at Martin Stadium against Oregon State. Last home game, not the final game, because we got a bowl game after that coming up for you. But where are you at in this part of the season, in this part of your career? How are you feeling?
What I tell you, it's so real. You come in as a freshman. Obviously, I wasn't here as a freshman, but still come to college football as a freshman. You think, wow, I got 5 years. Like, this is going to be forever. But now you're coming up on your last regular season game ever, and it's like, where did time go? But yeah, it's so real. That's all I could say, honestly.
And this season, just walk us through, the move over to Washington State University, taking that leap of faith with Rogers, following him to the Palouse, and then the culmination of the season.
Yeah. God, I mean, we're almost coming up on a year of everything going down, which is crazy, in itself. But Coach Rogers is all I know. That's all I have known in college. He personally recruited me from the state of Florida to go to SDSU. So he's all I know, and I've trusted him. I've said it multiple times. I trust him with my life, as crazy as it sounds. So when everything went down, I knew that I got 1 year left, and there's no one else that I would want to be coached by other than him. And then, yeah, the season is what it is. We have some things that we want back, but we also have a lot of good things out there. So future's bright.
I've got a couple fan questions for you. First one comes from Cassie Hurley, wife of Hurley Media.
Okay, yeah.
She wanted to know, we kind of asked this already, but for the folks listening, Matthew or Matt?
I would say Matthew.
And she also wants to know, do you have a nickname?
Everyone calls me Juice. It's in my Instagram. It's from middle school. We got to put nicknames on the back of our jerseys. And Jarvis Landry was my favorite player. So this is
a
few years ago. So I put it on the back of my jersey, and it just kind of stuck. And next thing you know, I go to high school, it stuck. Now then I go all the way to South Dakota from Florida, and it sticks. And then I come here, and it sticks. So I guess it just sticks.
And then the second one, this is kind of a two-part question. First part, say Rogers or one of the defensive staff members, maybe Jesse Bobbitt or a position coach, has you guys, hosting a recruit. What are you telling that recruit about playing for Rogers and Coach Bobbitt and being developed if you've been in that position?
Yeah. first thing I would say, like I just said a couple minutes ago, the future is bright. I was thinking about it this after the JMU game was really one of the few times this year, like all losses have sucked this year for sure. But after the JMU game, I was just kind of sitting in my locker like, man, this one hurts. I can just see what the future's like. I could see everyone buying into coach, and I just know next year the future is bright. The boys are going to be rallying every game, and it just stinks for me. Like I'll be in the stands watching, so that part hurts. But if I was to tell a recruit, say the future's bright, I'd say these guys are going to tell you how it is. There's no sugarcoating here. If you're good enough to play, you'll play as a 18-year-old, and if you're not, then you got to wait until you're ready. That's really what it comes down to. They're not going to put anyone out there that isn't ready and that they can't trust. But the thing is, they'll give you those opportunities in practice to earn that trust. So you just got to earn it. That's everything here is earned. Nothing is given. So.
And then the second part of that is, you kind of mentioned it in your answer here, but 15 seniors coming over from SDSU. Do you guys see the culture being laid down for these young players moving forward? And then, who are a couple guys in the back end? Because boy, there's a lot of senior leadership back there with you, Kale, Tucker, Colby. You don't see a lot of and Jamori, a lot of seniors. Who are some of the young guys that are showing out?
Yeah. So for that first part, I mean, we last couple of weeks, there's been a big emphasis on, we call it planting trees that we won't see. So that's what us older guys are trying to do. We're trying to plant seeds in these younger guys that, we won't, the truth is we won't be here to play with them because this is our last year, but we're hoping that we've shown enough that, okay, when we are gone, that they can carry on how we do things, how we expect things to be done. And we just hope to see that tree planted. Then you talk about young guys. Man, there's a lot of them, which is good. Especially with you saying there's a lot of us older guys leaving. But I just think of like a guy like Kyle Peterson. Man, he was out all spring. He got to work with Kale because Kale was also out all spring, and just the way he knows it right now it's impressive, especially he's still 18 years old and he's still a true freshman. And it's crazy to think that he's a true freshman, but he just knows it really well. Then now upcoming, he'll get to show it even more. And Kenny Worthy, he's another one. He's been playing a lot this year. I know he's been giving us kind of like our DB pregame speech after we do our Indy. So he's taking steps up in leading, and I know it'll only continue to grow.
This defense has been a breath of fresh air this season, coming from what we've seen in the past to now Rogers and his defense. It's not just talk. Kind of talking through the safety room of the seniors. You got, as Dylan had mentioned, Tucker, yourself, Cale Reeder. Is there like a certain slogan that you guys talk about that is the mantra for the defense? And also you're the third on the team currently in the solo tackles. Like what drives you guys, and what's the motto to lead so that everyone's swarming to the ball?
Yeah. Man, it was like the first thing we talked about. Like obviously us guys that came from SDSU, we already knew what the deal was, but there's a heavy emphasis on swarming to the ball. Something about swarming to the ball, and it just takes the life out of the offense. Like you throw a simple dump off screen and you got 8 guys in his face right away. Like, all right, maybe I'm not going to throw that play anymore. Like, I don't know. I feel like it takes the life out of teams when you got 11 dudes getting hits on their quarterback or their running back, their receiver, their tight end, and makes them maybe think twice, maybe I'm going to run out of bounds.
What makes Colby, I mean, he is a bulldog in terms of tackling. And Connor mentioned we haven't seen defense like this over the last 10, 15 years on the Blues with the air raid here and there. But, cornerbacks aren't ones typically to want to get, their feet wet in terms of tackling. And Colby is one of the best tackling corners in run defense. I believe he's top 45 in PFF out of all corners. He's a dog. Give us a little glimpse into his DNA.
Yeah. So Colby was a guy, he wasn't at SDSU forever with us. He transferred there last year with us. So we only had 1 year with him. But it was week 1, Oklahoma State. I remember we were in some defense where he was setting the edge, and ball snapped. He flies up there and just sticks the dude on the edge. It was a big dude too, and like tackles him. I was just like in awe. I was like, okay, like I see what he's about. So then I don't know, as you go on, you just see it every game, and then you start talking to him, and it's like, you know what, like he's the most selfless player probably in the secondary. He'll do anything that we need, and he'll put his body on the line if that's what's needed. And I feel like it's very evident when you turn on the film.
Is there a certain game that stands out to you this year that really is going to leave a lasting impression with you?
There's a few of them. It's just like some of those games on the road, man. It's crazy. In another world, we're 8-3 with whatever, how many wins,
Absolutely.
top 25 wins on the road. Obviously, no one likes to live in that what if world, but still, it is crazy to think about. Yeah, honestly, all those top 25 road games, like I feel like it shows. I don't know. If I was a fan, I would be pretty happy about it. I know we didn't win, but that shows that, all right, this team, I don't care who they play, they're not going to back down to anyone. They're not going to be scared of anyone. They're going to go in the game thinking they can win the game.
And like you were talking about planting the trees, it's like it's 75 new players, completely new coaching staff, and with all of that to deal with, you guys are still competitive with some of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, 100%. It's fun.
And I was going to mention 8 out of the 11 opponents on your guys' schedule are bowl eligible. You have Ole Miss, Virginia, James Madison with a combined 4 losses. I mean, for a lot of us, this schedule, a barnstorming tour, you guys were going all over the hell in place this season. Yeah. It ended up being a very fun schedule. And from your standpoint, you guys, FCS, haven't had the opportunity to play in a bowl game. And the biggest game of the season is now this week. Yeah. Obviously, a little payback on your mind as well. How important is for it to play one more game, give some opportunities to maybe some seniors that might be able to make it back for a bowl to go out the right way?
Yeah. God, the first, like just your last statement, the first person I think of is Brock. I don't know if Brock's gonna be able to play this week. It is what it is, but I've only known Brock for 11 months now, and I can tell that this place means the world to him. And it really bugs me that he won't be most likely be able to play in his senior day here at the school that he's been at for 5 years of his life. And then I just think about like all my best friends that I came here with, Tuck, Kale, Colby, etc. I just want a few more weeks with those guys because who knows, like it's the end of college. Who knows what happens after this? It's the tough reality, but it is reality. We're all going to go our separate ways, and they tell us like it's never going to be like this again. And as it gets closer and closer, you start to feel it like, yeah, like, wow, I'm going back to Florida. He's going there. He's going there. Like, yeah, maybe we'll see each other a couple times a year, and it sucks saying that, but it's just the truth. So we're just fighting for a couple more weeks with each other to just enjoy it.
And then one last question for me, just to see both segments of seniors, the holdovers, the Christian Hillborns, the Josh Merediths and Brock Doves that stayed here, and then the 15, 16 STSU guys. It seemed like it was a seamless transition for you guys from the outsider's perspective. But go back into, spring ball when you guys are first, getting involved with each other. How did the two separate segments of seniors kind of mesh?
Yeah. At first, obviously, it's a little weird. It's like all these new people coming in, and they're like, "Oh, what's going on? Like, why are all these new people here?" But at the end of the day, it's funny to talk about. Like, most of the seniors, like, we're all like kind of like goofy, I guess you could say, and we do stupid stuff. It's fun. So we mesh so well, and now it feels like I've known those guys like since I was a freshman, and it's like, damn, like I wish I had more time with those guys. It's coming to an end, but man, it's been a fun 11 months here, honestly.
And I've got to ask the question, you're 6'2", 213. Dare I say that's the size of like an NFL type safety? Like, what are your plans for after college football? Are you going to try to take that next step?
Yeah, still feeling everything out. A couple of the people I have talked to said it'd probably be more ideal to play linebacker in the league. But like I said, got to feel things out. Got a couple more games left here, and yeah, just kind of playing it day by day, honestly.
Rogers mentioned in his last presser that, talking about Tucker Large and his story coming from this undersized guy playing basketball to now he's, an undersized safety, but he's still hitting like he's bigger than he is.
Yeah.
But all these NFL teams are now asking about him. Like I'm curious what that might look like in that process.
Yeah. Tuck's another one. Like he's just, it's just like a hard game because no one can tell you an exact answer. That's the problem. You don't
Right.
get an exact answer. And if you do get one, it's like, can I trust that guy? I don't know. Honestly, Tuck's a guy that all he needs is a shot. And when he gets that shot, I think he will turn every head in whatever building he's in. And they will be like, wow, why didn't we have him on our board in the first place?
And we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you, senior day, family flying out from where, how many, what's going on with the fam this Saturday?
Yep. So my parents are coming in tomorrow from Tampa. My aunt and uncle are coming with them, and my little sister is coming as well. We'll do Thanksgiving tomorrow as a family, and then all of them will actually walk out with me on senior day. So it'll be fun.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
And then you mentioned Thanksgiving. Is it going to be just a family thing, or is it a full-on family players whole Thanksgiving with the Cougs?
Yeah, so what we're doing, we'll have our typical Thursday morning walkthrough, and then we're actually having a lunch with a donor. And then if you don't have family in town, each position coach is hosting a dinner for their position. And if you do have family in town, Coach Rogers is letting us go with our families. So
that's awesome.
Tell that donor to add another 0.
Yeah.
Final question for me. You were able to spend, this season in Pullman, which holds a special place in mine and Dylan's hearts and all Coug fan and alum. What's your favorite part of Pullman that you maybe didn't expect? Obviously going from small town to small town, but what was that experience of Pullman?
I don't know. There's so much. Like it was really
favorite restaurant.
Favorite restaurant, honestly.
Don't say Emporium now.
No. Honestly, my office. I don't know why it took me so long to get there to eat. But it did, and then I finally got there, and I was like, "Wow, these wings are as advertised."
Wings.
But yeah, it's been great. It was a lot like where we came from. The community is the school. The school is the community. Everyone rallies behind the football team, especially, and it's been fun. Honestly, if I had to do it again, I would. I'd be a Coug once again. So I'm glad I get to graduate from here. So it's a blessing.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Matthew, really appreciate your time. Congratulations on a stellar career in the season, and best of luck this weekend and what comes after that.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Good talking to you guys.
Matthew, the Juice. Our next guest on the Couch GM presented by CougFan.com, Colby Humphrey, senior day coming up. Colby, obviously only 1 year here with us. Now your second year with the staff. Talk about just this week and the feelings and the emotions that might be coming up for you with one more game on the docket.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot this week, just thinking about like my whole journey throughout college, and I just feel like very grateful, and I just feel like a lot of gratitude just like making it this far. So it just feels good this last week.
One thing I told Matthew earlier, I said, man, the defense has just been so fun to watch this season. Over these air raid seasons, we've seen our fair share of 63, 59 games and so on and so forth. But we've also never really seen that many cornerbacks like yourself tackle like a bulldog. I mean, you put your body on the line, and when we take a look at PFF's grade at your 47th out of 940 players in run defense, what's it mean to you to be a staple tackling corner?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like throughout my college career, I've always been told that like just being like a corner that can be physical, that can tackle is something that's valuable and that a lot of people look for, and it's something that not a lot of people see. So I just try to pride myself off of being like a physical guy, even though I'm not the biggest. I'm going up against people that are a lot bigger than I am, just like never backing down and just standing toe to toe with whoever. So.
Are there any corners in the league that you might have watched growing up or that you compare yourself to, looking to strive to kind of play towards?
Growing up, I mean, typical like Jalen Ramsey, he's a very physical corner, but somebody pretty like recently is definitely Devon Witherspoon from the Seahawks.
Oh yeah.
I think he's like a very physical corner. That's somebody who I try to model my game after, and somebody who I watch pretty often. So
He hits really hard.
yeah, he does.
He's probably the best corner in football. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he is. He's really good.
Going to the secondary, I mean, there's just so much senior leadership back there. You and Jamori across from each other. You've got Tucker, Matthew, Kale. I mean, there is just a lot of senior leadership. A fan question we had was, how does it feel for you guys? Do you feel like you are putting down the necessary building blocks and starting to build this culture in year one for Jimmy here at WSU?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to lay out the standard for for the years to come. We only got a year left, and it's coming to an end pretty soon. But throughout the year, we definitely prioritize just like laying down the foundation. Just laying down seeds so they could grow after we leave. So that's something that we take pride in for sure.
Now you're one of 3 guys on the team with an interception this year. You're 4th on the team in solo tackles. What is a standout moment from this season that will stick with you moving forward?
Definitely, I would say like the interception. That was nice to get. What else? Probably just like going to all the different places. Like the Ole Misses, the Virginias, just competing against like the top teams. As a player, you want to go against the best in the country, and we got the chance to do that. We got a chance to showcase what WSU is about and like just what to expect in the years to come. Even though I won't be there personally, but just to show like what we got coming in the future, and everybody needs to be on the lookout for sure because we're coming. So yeah.
You mentioned be on the lookout. With you and Jamori being seniors and the starters at corner, we heard a ton about Trillion, Sorrell in fall camp, making plays after play after play. Name some of the other young guys, the Kenny Worthies of the world, and some of the folks that might see a bigger role next season.
Yeah, definitely. Trillion, you got Jamari. He's also a corner. He's a big corner, physical, and great technique as well. Very smart as well for his age. You already mentioned Kenny. He's a special player. Who else? Tyrone Cotton. He dealt with an injury. That's another guy. When he gets healthy, he's going to be up and rolling. And then not even in like the corner room, but Demarius Russell, Kyle Peterson, a couple of safeties. Sullivan in the back room, Anthony Polano. Like we have a lot of youth and a lot of potential, and I really just can't wait to see them just develop and grow as players.
Let's talk through a little bit of your story. Obviously, you started out in Arizona, at Northern Arizona. You then go to South Dakota State University, and then you make the transition over to Washington State. Can you just walk us through kind of each of those steps and what led you to make that leap of faith, and especially with Jimmy Rogers once you got there, now moving out to Washington State?
Yeah, so I started out as a pretty much a walk-on at NAU. Dealt with some injuries, just a lot of nagging injuries throughout my years there. And then they had a staff change. I decided to enter the redshirt and enter the portal. That was a time where I really didn't know what was next for me, and I did a lot of praying. I just took a leap of faith. I got in the portal, and Coach Rogers called me. He recruited me out of high school, but I wasn't really too knowledgeable on what South Dakota State was about out of high school, so I didn't go there out of high school. But that phone call, he was just so honest, and it just felt so genuine. And then I went on my visit, and it was the same thing. All the coaches, all the players were just very like welcoming. Everything was just so genuine, and it was like a real brotherhood. So I took the leap and I went, and I'm so glad I'm so glad I did. A lot of character development, great times at South Dakota State, and then I'm just so grateful that they asked me to join them here.
Playing at Northern Arizona and SDSU, the FCS schools, you have the big playoff. You don't have the bowl games.
Yeah.
How important is it this week for you guys, to have vengeance, to take, game 2 against the Beavs and make a bowl game, and most importantly, I think something that's on the back of a lot of the players' minds is giving maybe some guys who are seniors who can't play this week another opportunity in the bowl.
Yeah, I think that's our main thing. We built a brotherhood here in such a short amount of time, and I think that's the main thing that's on everybody's minds. It's just like, give these seniors like another week. And, we know we could do that, and like that's what we're striving for this week. So,
and then my last question is tying in the 15 or so seniors, the contingent of seniors that came from SDSU, and linking up with the contingent of seniors like the Brock Does, the Josh Merediths, the Zevi Eckhouses that stayed here. What was that meshing like early on with, both senior groups coming together as one?
I think it was really easy, honestly. Those two senior groups, I feel like we had a lot of things in common. We both wanted to win. We both had both groups had so much passion for the game, and we just love the game of football, and we want to win, and we want to see each other win. So, it didn't matter where we came from or anything like that, but yeah, just that whole process was really easy, and it's just we built the brotherhood, and we all love each other. So.
I got a question. So Rogers during his last presser mentioned that it's not really necessarily the stuff on the field that you'll remember when you leave here. It's about the camaraderie, the plane flights to and from some of these games. Can you give us a little insight into what it's like to step on a plane and to go to Ole Miss or to Virginia? What are you guys doing on the planes to keep yourself busy? And are you playing some card games?
Yeah, I know some guys play cards. Some guys play a game called Imposter. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. That's a pretty fun game. We play that. And then most guys, they just either sleep the whole time or, download shows or movies and just watch those. But it's definitely like something that's definitely memorable for sure. Yeah.
Who's the best college football 26 gamer on the team? Who's the king of the hill?
I keep hearing that Buddha Paletti is really good. I keep hearing that AJ Davis is really good, and Kel Reeder. I think those are the top 3 guys. I've played Kel, and he whooped me, so I think he takes the cake for sure. Yeah.
And enough about video games. It's senior day this weekend. Family. How many do you expect? Are they in town? Thanksgiving. How's that all working out for you?
Yeah, so Thanksgiving, it's just gonna be like the players. Like, I know all the guys in the corner room. We're just going over our position coach's house. Just gonna have Thanksgiving there, and then for senior day, I got my family coming in on Friday. I got my parents and then my brothers, and I got my girlfriend coming as well. So it'll be good to have them come and watch the game and come and be on the field with me for senior day. So I'm excited for that.
Last question for me. You're majoring in social science. What are your plans when you leave Pullman? Are you hoping to take the next step to try out for the next level, or are you done with football after this year?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna try to take the next step. I'm gonna find a place to train, do a pro day and everything, and see where that takes me. So that's the main plan for now.
Awesome.
You got a favorite dish? What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Favorite Thanksgiving dish? Definitely mac and cheese.
Okay.
Mac and cheese. I'm from the South, so fried chicken, mac and cheese, collard greens.
Maybe a little bacon mac and cheese too.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Awesome. Well, Colby, thank you for coming on. Best of luck this weekend and whatever comes after this weekend. And appreciate your time. Go Cougs.
All right, thank you guys. Go Cougs.